Digital business strategy. So you all are welcome to the digital business strategy, the business level 2 subject. CS Sri Lanka has selected this digital business strategy subject for the new syllabus for you to understand about the IT environment in the industry. So before I start, I think that I should tell you about who I am a little bit in brief. So I did my diploma from NIBM, diploma in computer system design, then the high diploma in management information system. Then I did my BSc in MIS from University of Dublin through NIBM, and then did my MBA in IT from University of Moratuwa. And I have 20 years of experience in the administration and IT field. And I started my career as a software engineer, then ended up with the registrar in one of the leading Japanese-based IT campus in Sri Lanka. And I have involved with so many positions in the industry, and those are as IT managers, IT officers, director of ICT, and so many other positions. So let's start the subject. The digital business strategy has a syllabus. I think that all of you have received the syllabus, and I think that you have read and understand about some of the content of the syllabus given to you. In briefly, I will tell you about the main thing that will be teach in this subject. There are 4 parts and there are 11 chapters. Part A, Introduction to Business Strategy and Technology. The component is 20% from out of 100. So Chapter 1, Business Management Process and Technology. Chapter 2, Managing Technology in Organization, Digitalization of Business and Commerce. So they are focusing on strategic level through these 3 chapters. And the part B is Managing Information in Business. That is 20%. Role of information system in business is the 4th chapter, and 5th chapter is Enterprise Resource Management System. So they are focusing in how to manage information in business through these 2 chapters, chapter 4 and chapter 5. Part C, Nature and Scope of E-Business. Introduction to E-Business, E-Business Environment, E-Business Applications. So those are the 3 applications, the 3 chapters that they are going to teach and given to you in order to give you the understanding about what is e-business is. Part D, Marketing Strategies in the Digital, and Part C has a 30% component, and Marketing Strategies in the Digital, that is 20%. That consists of 3 chapters: Marketing Practices for Digital Platforms. 10th chapter is Mobile and Social Media Marketing and the Content Marketing. So those 3 chapters contribute to the marketing strategies. So if you look at in brief about these 4 parts, you can see first part is focusing on business strategies, strategic level. The second one is how to manage information. Third one is e-business. The 4th one is marketing. So I think that you can summarize into your mind that what are these 4 chapters, what concern should be made for this, especially for the part C, the nature and scope of e-business, that has 30%. So they have given more weightage for that. And also for the e-business, managing information in business, that also have 20%. Other 2 chapters are for 20% each. Yeah, let's before talk about the subject, I would like to tell you about something in the syllabus that the most of the students are not concerning about this content of the syllabus, that the content as learning outcomes. What is this learning outcome is? After completion of this syllabus, from each chapter you have to understand some kind of knowledge. So, teacher will be giving some knowledge, you have to read some content, you have to understand. So, normally in everywhere, in any institution, the question paper will be prepared based on the learning outcome. The learning outcome is what should be expected from the student. So, if you can focus on what are they focusing on, then you can get a brief idea about what will be the question paper, what they will be asked. And after reading out each and every chapter, you have to focus on the content of this learning outcome. Then you will be getting a brief idea about what question will be asked from the question paper. So, I am not going to explain each and every learning outcome because it is already written in the syllabus, and you can refer to those information and get the details. And each of these chapters that has a content, and also I will go down a little bit. Here they have given some sample questions, right, and also they have given some answers. So, you have received the questions and answers. So, out of these 11 chapters, the contents is very large, but and also you will be getting much more questions you will be getting. So, if you can after reading of the syllabus, if you can understand the questions and the answers, so it is easy for you to write for the examination. That is the syllabus content, the structure, and how the learning outcome are given in this content. So, and then as per the information I got from Sri Lanka, this is the first examination going to be held as MCQ basis. In the MCQ question paper, I think this is the first time that you are going to sit for this MCQ examination. That has 50 questions and also 2 hours to complete all these 50 questions. So, it means you have about 4 minutes per one questions, and one question will be having 4 answers. So, you have to select the most suitable answer. Sometimes there will be some questions with similar answers, then you have to select the most appropriate, most suitable one. Then they will be asking like that. In the normal question papers that you have already sit for, may have given the question papers in a format like describe what is e-commerce is, what are the elements of e-commerce, and so many things in the theoretical background. But in the MCQ question paper, that will not be asked directly. What they will ask is, let us say they will say, please select the most appropriate, the most suitable feature in e-business. Then you have to select the most appropriate one. In order to answer for this question, you have to understand the concept of IT. It means what is given in the syllabus. In the syllabus, each and every headings, each and every contents in each chapters, the informations are given. So, you have to read out that and you have to understand. So, we are here to give you a stimulating you to understand, get more information from us, get understand and write for the exam. Okay. So, we start the chapter 1. Chapter 1 name is Business Management Process and Technology. So, this is as I said you initially in the first slide, that contributes 20% and that is talk about business strategy. What is strategy? If I say is the strategy is the long term direction of an organization. Why do we say long term? Normally in every organization when strategic plan are preparing, sometimes you may don't know about what the strategic plan is. Normally if the organization is targeted to achieve some level in near 5 years or 10 years. So, they are doing a plan based on the facts they have, based on the experience they have, they are designing a plan. So, that will be for a long term duration and it's a direction. And the course of action including the specification of resources required to achieve a specific objective. The strategy is a course of action. There are so many actions and for what? To achieve a specific objective. If you want to achieve a specific objective, there should be so many actions. In your private life also, if you want to be a chartered accountant, it is your objective, is the objective that you are going to achieve. So, in order to achieve that, there are so many actions to be taken. You have to allocate your time and you have to go for classes, you have to go for with the audit companies and you have to study at night and even in the mobile phone you will have to study. So, there will be so many actions to achieve that goal. So, those are the strategies that you are going to implement within you to achieve your objective. Likewise, in the organization as well, if they let us say the organization need to achieve a target of as an example we will tell CSC Lanka in 2025 they want to achieve more number of students, let us say 20,000, 30,000 or something. So, in order to achieve that target, what are the strategies that you are going to implement? So, that is called long term direction. So, in order to achieve this strategy, there should be directions. In your childhood that you may have, you can memorize that your father and mother, your parents may have directed you to achieve some target, whether that can be level 5 scholarship examination or O level or A level. So, your parents may have guided you, please achieve this. They were following you, they have given the proper directions. So, it is something similar to this one also. So, it is a long term directions to achieve the strategy. I think that now you have a good understanding about what strategy is. And if you want to get more details, I think that because this is a IT subject. So, normally if you are an IT guy, when you see this what is strategy is, you can search it from the Google. So, that is a search engine, you can search in and find it out. but we are here to explain you in brief what this content is telling you about. Then we talk about directions here, and that strategy should be a successful strategy. Here you can see a successful strategy, and that is achieving objectives. So, what are these objectives? These objectives are the organization requirement, that these are the goals of the organization that they are going to achieve. So, in order to achieve these objectives given here, you must have successful strategies, and that strategy should have very good direction, long term directions. So, that is the direction that you are going to implement through a strategic plan. So, you are going to direct the successful strategy to achieve objectives. Then what is the strategic decisions? Sometimes let us say that one company need to introduce a new product to the market, and sometime that will be failing. There is a vice versa, good and bad. So, strategic decision is in the strategic plan that will be given as the decision taken by the management to achieve the objective through successful strategies. So, those decisions has to be confirmed by the management and allow the process to achieve the objectives. So, it is not one individual decision. There is a corporate decisions taken by the team. Normally in any organization, when they are preparing a strategic plan, there is a team involved with this. Even the clerk, sometimes even the operation people, and also management, middle management, everybody should be involved, because they are the people who have the knowledge. They know what to do, what will be in future, and also some of the organization consult some new consultants for the guidance. So, they will be given the directions, and decision can be taken by the management and achieve the objective. So, all these things which I explain as strategies will be in the competitive market. So, if you want to achieve the objectives, you have to focus on that you are in the competitive market. Not only you, there will be so many institutions that have put so many products into the market. So, that's a competitive market. In the education industry also, and that Sri Lanka is there, and SIMA, AAT, and also in campus wise there are private campuses, and also there are private universities and government universities, and there is a huge competition. So, in order to achieve the objectives, you have to struggle in the competitive market. So, in order to achieve these objectives, you have to focus on what competitive markets that you are available, you are living in. Then strategy can be implemented accordingly. If you are not thinking about, if you are not analyzing the competitive market and the strategy the other companies have taken into achieve their goals, sometimes you will be failing, because whatever the plan that you are preparing will be affected to other competitors as well. So, I think that from this slide you understood about successful strategy and how to achieve that, how the directions are given, how the decisions are taken, and also environment of the competitive market that you are going to deal with. Okay. Then the previous slide we explained about decisions, strategic decisions. Then strategic decision making. There is a very good part in the decision making process in strategic planning. So there are long term directions. As I said to you, this will be for 5 years duration, that can, or else 10 years of durations that you are taking the decision. And competitive advantages. In the competitive market, there are competitive advantages. When you take decisions, those decisions will be measured in the competitive advantage, competitive market, and you will be gaining competitive advantages. That is where the good decisions should be made. And scope of activities. In decision making, there will be a different type of activities involved. So based on those activities, you have to decide what to do. It's not, as I said to you earlier, it's not a one way of decision making. It can be a corporate wise decision making in the company. And make use of unique resources and core competencies. When doing the decision making, you have to use the unique resources and core competencies you have. And what are these core competencies? Within you also, as a boy or girl who are studying chartered accountancy, you may have identified some core competencies you have. That is something like you are very good in auditing, can be, or sometimes information technology. Sometimes you can understand the content in a quick manner, and when reading the contents, you can identify. You can sometimes you will be feeling what question will be asked in the paper as well. So those kind of things can be taken as core competencies. The core values that has included in your profile. And sometimes you may be very fluent in English. So that's a good competency, core competency to write for the examination. And you can answer well, and you can read the content well. And unique resources. Every organization has unique resources. You also may be having a motorbike or car or some other resources. So you use those resources to come to the audit firm, come to the classes, and so many other purposes. So those are the resources that you have within you. But in the organization has more resources. What are the resources CSE Lanka has? If you say this is a good building in Colombo 7, this building is worth a billion of rupees. And also the resources, human resources can be. So CSE Lanka has very good human resource capabilities. So likewise, if it is a manufacturing company, they have very good plants which manufacture cars or whatever the products. So they have resources that can be intangible or tangible. It means that you can touch it or you cannot touch it. So make use of resources and core competencies when taking these strategic decisions. Let's say that you have taken a decision like that to implement the new product. That product should have resources to be utilized. But if you do not have those resources, you have to purchase those things. Then that incurred money. So you have to pay money. So you have to understand the resources you have, then get the maximum benefit of it. And adapting to changes in business environment. Normally in strategic planning, adaptiveness is required. When you go with the business environment, there can be different organization involved in this market. They will be launching so many products, and the business environment has to be studied well, and the changes of the business environment will be the problem. So, you have to adapt to the environment. Let us say that after studying about 12 to 13 years in your history, so you will be you are working as you are studying as a student, and you have the family background, you are dealing with parents and also teachers. But when you come to office environment, it's a change that you feel. So, you have to adapt to the change. Likewise, in the business environment also, the organization has to adapt themselves to work in the business environment. In order to do that, there will be some decision to be taken. Those are strategic decisions to adapting to changes in the business environment, and recognizing the value and expectation of major stakeholders. Let us say, as an example, I am taking some example of the CS Sri Lanka, because I think that you may be prefer to take those and you will be understanding well. And let us say stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are the people who are involved in the organization. That can be outside, or having very good relation with the organization. So, CS Sri Lanka have very good stakeholders. Those are, who are they? Student, members. You will become the student, then one day you will become the chartered accountant, then the chartered accountant is a stakeholder. So, likewise, there are so many stakeholders, suppliers, and also some other service providers, and there are so many stakeholders, lecturers, and so many people. Then you have to understand the value of the major stakeholders, expectation of the major stakeholders. Let us say that in a product launching company, product development company, let us say soap manufacturing company. So, they have to understand the expectation of the stakeholders. Let us say it's a normal example, I can say all of the most of the people in the country, that they are very fat now because of the environment that they are working with. So, if somebody can, that is an expectation for them to be thin. So, if you are reaching this expectation of the major stakeholder, you can introduce some products. So, you have to recognize the value and take the decision according to that. So, in the strategy making, that you have seen that long term direction, competitive advantage, scope activities, make use of unique resources, core competencies, and adapt and changes in the environment, and you have to adapt for that, and also the values, that the expectation of major stakeholder. Though all this has to be concerned when you are taking decisions, strategic decision. In your private life also, you have to take so many decisions, strategic decision, very short decisions, when you are going to do something. Then I think that the explanation I have given is sufficient for you to understand what is strategic decision is. Let us go to characteristics of strategic decision. What are the characteristics? So, you also have some characteristics. You are very honest. Sometimes you can be a very cunning person. You can be very honest, and you are very loyal to the people, and you don't cheat. And so you have so many characteristics with you. Likewise, in the organization also there are characteristics is that and also when taking decision there are characteristics. What are the characteristics? Complexity, uncertainty, effect on business operation, affect the entire organization or business. Complexity, when taking decision there is a huge complexity. Why did you decide to do this chartered accountancy examination after A level? So you may have decided that you want to do chartered accountancy examination. So you have taken a decision. In that time you may had more complexity. You cannot identify how to take the decision, and it is more complex when it comes to organization level. When taking decisions, there can be so many problems coming in. Let us say that the organization is going to implement a very good automated system. So, if the organization is using automated system, they do not require to employ people. Let us say today they need 20 people to operate some process. But if you automated that using system and machines, what will happen? You need about 5 people. So what do you do for that 15 people? So there is a complexity. So you have to take the decision. It is complex. What are you going to do for these people? So uncertain, it means it is not sure. Where you have taken the decision, you are expecting that you will be reaching the target objectives, but it is uncertainty. Why is that? You may remember in last year, due to terrorist attacks, so many things happened. Some companies may have introduced so many products into the market, and the market share also went up, and it was in a very good level. But instantly this terrorist attack came. So what happened was, the product that was launched into the market was failed. So those are the uncertainty problem which can affect to the organization when you have taken the decisions. So you have taken the strategic decision, but that cannot be implemented, that cannot be successful because of the uncertainty problem in the environment, which is business environment. Effect on business operations. So when you are taking decision that affect the business operation, sometimes you will require to stop continuing one branch, let us say which is situated in Anuradhapura, Mathura, Sambhya, in far away. So that does not have much more income. So after so many analyses by the management, so you decided it is better to close down the operation there. So you are closing down the business in Mathura. So that affects to the business operation and people who are there. So you have taken a decision, whether it is wise decision or the poor decision, somehow you have taken, that will affect to the business operations. And not only that, as an example I can say, in a manufacturing company, you are taking some raw materials, and those raw materials will be with the output at last as a product. So you purchase new raw materials. So it's the strategic decision they have taken. It is very low cost, and expected that is in a very good quality and it's low cost. So you implemented that. Then what will happen is, then it goes to the factory, they manufacture things, the operation is going on, suddenly you can see machines are not working, the operation failed. Because of why? The raw material they have choose is wrong, that is not compatible with the machine operations. So, machine does not accept those materials. In the testing environment, before they take the decision, that would have been operational, but when it comes to large scale of manufacturing processes, the machine will reject the raw material. Then the strategic decision you may have taken is wrong. They affect the entire organization or business. As I said you in this business operation failure example, that affect the entire organization. Ultimately, because of raw material, you cannot develop new product, you cannot create the product, you cannot give the product to the sales people to sell. Then what will happen is, the organization is failing to give the product to the customer. Then customer is waiting to get the product, but product are not received to the customer. Then customer decide to go with another competitor, the another product. They will be selecting another product. Ultimately, they will continue that selected product in future. So, the market share also goes down because of this operation. Not only that, that the wrong decision can be affected to income of the company. Then there are so many people, the employees involved in this operation, they will not be having work. So, we will be waiting until the new raw materials comes. So, and also the productivity also will be going down. Then sometime because of the failure, the company employees will decide to leave from the company because of this wrong decision. As an example, it has happened to one company, I cannot name for that. That company directors went abroad and selected a new product, that is a machine. That company is a development company. They selected the brand and machine, that is their brand. So, they purchased a huge number of machines, lot of machines. They spent lot of money for that. Then they brought here, then implemented, put it to the market rejected that. Then what happens, the profit that they have earned during the 10 years of period, it was a loss. Then whole operation went down. So, likewise, taking decisions, these characteristics has to be the main concern. So, what are the strategic levels? There are 3 levels: corporate strategy, business strategy, operational and functional strategies. Let us talk about the comparison given here. The corporate strategy, that is the general level of strategy. In corporate level, this is what you are going to take as the head of the institute or organization, and manage at corporate level. This corporate strategy managed at the corporate level, taking high decisions, includes goal setting. They are the people, that is a strategy which setting the goals to achieve by these strategic levels. They are setting goals that within 5 years time that the company should achieve something. The decisions relating to the structure of the group as a whole, the decision they are taking is concerning about the group of the organization, entire organization. They think about the entire organization when taking decision in the corporate level. No direct contact with the buyers or competitors at any of its market. They do not want to contact the buyers, they do not want to contact the competitors. These people are the people who are in the operation level contact customers. Corporate strategy manages business strategy. Strategy business unit. So there can be business unit within the organization. Let's say the one business unit can be car manufacturing unit, another business unit can be bike manufacturing unit, or there can be so many products, so many units, business units are there. And one organization, some organization focusing on different areas as business unit. That can be car manufacturing and also education and also some other areas. So the corporate level strategies add the value to the SBU. So they think about what the market will be in future, and they take decision, and those decision will be add value to the SBU. Let's say it's car manufacturing unit. So they focus on in future what will be the market, and then they take decision, then add value to the SBU. So I think you can understand about the in corporate strategy level what are the features involved, right? So business strategy formulation at the divisional or SBU level. This is the SBU level, strategic business unit level. Strategy what you are going to formulate will be for divisional level. It means in an organization there may be so many divisions. So each division may have each different business strategies in order to achieve their goals. So and also manage at divisional level. These strategy manage at divisional level. That can be HR division that manage their strategy in the division level, recruiting people and recruiting people of factories, what kind of people, and so many strategy decision will be taken, and decide what market, what product to sell, how to target. These are the people in business. They are business minded people who are involved with the market. They know what is actually going in the market. These business strategy who are working at this level will tell the true scenarios happening in the business to about the business to these corporate strategy level people. So then they can get understand, because these corporate strategy level people does not go with the market. They get the information from the business strategy people and formulates goals, formulates strategies, right? So I think that the middle level business strategy is the management level that they are operating in the function of the organization. What is operational functional strategies? Strategy plan, long-term plans are prepared for each operation or function. When preparing strategy plans, it prepared to operations, each function of the organization. Let's say the car manufacturing company has a unit called electric car manufacturing unit, and that has a operation wise raw material operation and also inventory and also some part purchasing, procurement, and so many operation activities are going on in those SBUs. So that operational level strategy will be taken under this category. The strategic plan becomes successful if the strategies are effective at the operation level. So as I said initially, the company is going to prepare a strategy plan that is a 5-year duration or 10-year duration. It's a long-term plan, long-term direction. So from the plan that they are going to achieve some objectives. In the plan, the implementation part will be conducted under this level, operational level, and that support the overall strategy. Overall strategy will be supported. The overall strategy of the organization will be supported by this operation level. So the operation level is a main important thing in the in the business environment. Let's say in the manufacturing company, if the workers in the operation level, if they are not working, if they are not supported to make the good product, if they are lazy, if they are doesn't concern about the objective of the organization, what will happen is the product they are going to develop will be not be in good quality, and that will be rejected by the market. And the business strategy and the corporate strategy can set in the goals, the business strategy can manage the people, manage the division, and but ultimately the operational people are the people who will be dealing with the product, and they are in the operation level. If this is fail, the whole organization will be failing, because these people cannot do these functions, right. I think that you can get a good, you got a very good idea about what the strategy levels is. Let's go to digital. In the business strategy, so we talk about strategy. Now we will talk about digital business strategy. Is the application of digital technologies to business models to form new differentiating business capabilities. So, it's a business model that form new differentiating business capabilities by using what? Using digital technologies. So, in the business strategy, use of digital technologies will stimulate, will influence, will give add value for the capabilities they have. So, ultimately that will create a business model by using digital technologies. That digital technology use the business model use the digital technologies, and then ultimately form a new differentiating business capabilities. In the business environment, differentiating is a main requirement, because you have to differentiate your product in the market, otherwise you cannot sell it. If the same product is available in the market, the people will choose it based on the brand also. And if you are differentiating the product with the other products in the market, so that will provide a good value. So, why the digital word is included is to give much more value to the business. So, I think you got a very good idea about that. And let's talk about information strategy. This information strategy, if you have read out this business level 2, that digital business strategy syllabus, it's a book that is given to you, you may have taken it. So, in that book, that has mentioned in so many places about this information strategy. So, therefore, I guess that some of the question will come to the question paper from this information strategy, because this information strategy will reflecting so many chapters, and that has a link in so many chapters, that's why they have put it there. So, I mainly tell you that for you to study the content of the information strategy. So, I will give a brief introduction about this. Information system strategy, that is IS strategy, that provide a long-term direction for the development of information systems throughout the organization, that is IS strategy, is supported by IS and IM. So, before talk about this IT strategy, in the mouse pointer I think you can see this one, information strategy, IT and information management, IM. These two strategies will support into this IS strategy, right. So, IS strategy long term direction, that has information system that's run in the organization. In order to run the information system, what you should have, then talk about IT strategy. Development and maintenance of hardware and software to facilitate the overall IT strategy. The organization should have IT, the softwares, and let's say in order to run a ERP software, that is the information system that you are going to implement in the organization, that should have hardware and softwares. That should have computers. In the computers, that must have softwares to operate. That can be a word processing softwares or else languages software, Visual Studio, Java, or whatever the things, updated version has to be there. So, in order to run it, and also there should be a network that is connected the hardwares, the computers. In order to access the systems, this information strategy which give the provide hardware and software is supporting, right. So, information management, how does it support to the information system? How the organization will control and manage the information? So, whatever the information is available in this strategy, under this will be stored in this information system, and that is managed. So, information will be managed through this system. So, there is a system, there is a services provided by IT, and there is a management part. In this management part, the people will be involved to manage the information through the IT strategy from this information system. So, you can understand correlations between these three functions, three strategies. The main one is information strategy. So, in order to operate that, these two strategies will be supporting. So, in the question paper sometimes they will ask, what are the two strategies, what are the strategies which support the information strategy? So, you have to identify what are those. So, and also will ask us what is the most important one. So, that can be IT. So, without IT the system cannot be function. So, you can understand this by reading this one, and also if you go to the syllabus, that are given a very good understanding about the brief introduction I have given to you now will be sufficient for you to improve the knowledge. So, let us talk about how information system, IT and information management improve the efficiency. What is efficiency? I will explain it like this. When you work in the organization, in the very first day, you are not efficient because you don't know about each and every step of the organization that you are going to process, and also processes involved with your job. You don't know about much about that. So, you have to understand each and everything. That will take about can be 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. So, the efficiency will be very low at the beginning, and sometimes then the efficiency will be increasing. So, you can, let us say now you can do one task within 1 hour duration. The same task can be done within 10 minutes duration in future when you are efficient. So, now you can understand about what the efficiency is, right. So, how information system, IT and IM improve the efficiency. Use of IT will link the different activities. Oh, this is linking different activities. What are the different activities? IT, that has the hardware, then link with the attendance machine. Let us say attendance machine, you place the finger there. So, that is linked with the system, HR system. The information that you feed, that when you punch your finger in the attendance machine, that information in and out will go to the HR system. The HR system calculates the in and out and then calculate the OT and leaves and everything. So, there is a link between and the IS. So, use of link IT will link the different activities. And IS, IM, IT and IM, so I am not going to explain about what is said about IS and IT, because I think that you are fully aware of what is IT, IS and IM. So IM, IT and IS improve the information flow. Let's say when an organization, as an example, we will take the Charter Institute of Sri Lanka. How the information will flow? Initially, you will be as a student who joined with the first level, you will be registered with the registration division. Then that information will be fed into the system. So that support IT, and there is a system. In the system that is entered, the IT is the hardware supported for that, and management, the people who manage, will be supported for that. Then that information will be fed. That information will be taken by the examination division for examination activities. Once you applied, the initial information which is entered into the system will be retrieved, and then it will be flow until you get the membership. Until once you become the chartered accountant, this information will be flowing in the scenario. That is the information flow that flows through the organization. And also, not only that when one information has to be sent to other places, let us say through emails or whatever the mechanism, that can be managed through the information system and the information technology given to the organization. So that is a flow. So each and every function of the organization has information flow for one to another, how the information is flowing. How water flowing from one end to the other, it goes to the river, then goes to the sea. So likewise, the information also go from one end to the other. And links be formed with external entities. What are these external entities? They can be supplier or some other entities who are involved with the organization. So there can be link formed with the entities. So they will also will be having some other links to enter with the organization. So those are the external entities that will be connected. So in order to connect the external entities, these three things has to be there. Otherwise, they cannot connect. If there is no IT, internet, what will happen? Can these external entities be connected? No, they cannot. It means the IT has to be there. In order to access the website, we say it's an information system. To do that, IT should be there. Otherwise, those external parties like you cannot be linked with the business environment in the organization. IS, IT and IM be used to decrease the cost. This is decreases cost. Why it is that? In early days, sometimes you may not remember, in our early days we know that there were no much more IT involvement in the organization. Sometimes if you want to send some parcel to some other country in the organization, you have to deliver by yourself. Though that mechanism was not improved in the organization. And let's say tire manufacturing company. In the tire manufacturing company, there is a process. There are so many operational level activities going on. Those tire manufacturing company has machines. Those machines identify the tires and do the required work and develop the tire. Let's say that machines are automated. Once the raw material insert into the machines, that raw material will be converted into product. How does it convert? Through the machines. Automated systems will be used through the automated system that will be converting. So, automatically the product will be connected. There is a workflow systems that information will be flow from one to another end. So, then that will decrease the cost in manual operations. If you do it in manually, how many employees that you have to employ? That will be 1,000, but using of machines, that can be minimized up to even 10 people. So, that is how the decreases, and that does not decrease the quality, right. Please remember that when it feed to the machine, that will work out like a robot, and that will decrease the cost, which does not require much for human resources, and as well as waste of material will be minimized. Sometime when doing the operations in manually, the things the raw material will be wasted. If it is automated, there is a certain flow, the machine will work according to that is automated, then the cost will be very minimum. Okay. Now, we will talk about how the technology add value to the business. In the operations, there are automated systems. That automated system provide value, add value to the business through what? Technology. As I said you in the previous slide, I talk about how in a manufacturing company, how the operations are going on, how it is failing, and how the processes are going on. If it is failing, what will happen? So, the technology embedded into the operation level, in the machines, that is automated. So, when it is automated, the process is flowing very well, accurately, then the output can be taken with minimum cost. So, technology has given very good value addition. So, through this value addition, that minimize the cost, that make efficiency in the operations, and also which reduce the cost of the organization, reduce the management involvement, and also monitoring involvement. So many processes will be minimized, and that ultimately create a very good product. So, that technology add values to the operations. So, I think is obviously that you are very clear about this one. So, you may have very good idea about this one now. So, new product and services, innovative product and services. So, what are these innovative products? Why we need the innovative products? When you deal with the competitive market, so there will be competitors. So, in order to behave in the competitive market, you must have competitive products, otherwise you cannot survive. So, then the company will be doing the researches, they will be seeking for new product developments. That is where the company can catch the market. That is where the company can dominate in the market. In order to do that, they must have innovative products. What are these innovative products? Those are the products which differentiate from the market. When you put that product into the market will absorb that product. It means the customer will come and buy it, they will reject the other products and take the innovative products. But it has to be in very good quality, it has to be in expected level. So, the new products and services provided into the market will add values. Let us say you have very good cars to be sold. So, through the technology you are going to sell it. How do you sell it? You upload it to a website which the technology is used, then through that you are selling the product. And in the website on the each and every organization also they use the technology, in website technology. So, through that they promote the products. So, technology has given value addition to promote the product, new product. Even in the Facebook or whatever the social media or LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, those softwares, the platforms will be used, and those platform is using the new technologies. Those will be added to sell the products, to communicate with the others and give the message, and so many things can be done through the technology. So, new product innovations can be put into the market through the new technologies. So, new technology will add values. In not only that, in this one that it is mentioned, the technology, using technology, the product that you are going to develop will be innovative. In the, let us say, in early days there were normal CRT TVs. So, there those days there were no any LED TVs. Then the normal TV came, then there is with the big screen TV came. Then now in the modern TVs, I think that the internet also can be browsed. So, in the early days we never imagined that can we browse the internet through the TV. If somebody said in that days that in early 90s or 80s, through the TV you can browse the internet, they will be joking. So, now that innovation has come into the industry. So, through the TVs, the televisions, you can browse the internet also, and it is connected to Wi-Fi also. So, internet is there. So, technology has given very good value, that is an added value to the new products. Then the people who know the technologies, the use of it, and they will definitely buy it. So, that is where the new product and services implemented into the market. So, let us talk about information. Information that create knowledge, collect and store data. In every organization that has information, that through the information that create knowledge. So, that knowledge will be stored in databases and some other storing procedures. That can be a database, that can be a hard disk, or whatever the mechanism that we use into the technology is adding value to the information that you have in the organization. Let us say each and every person who are working in an organization may have some knowledge. That knowledge can be created in a system called knowledge management system. Then all the other can be accessible for that to that knowledge. Then that knowledge will be collected from the people and stored in the systems, and this is where it is mentioned, the information is collected from the people and it is stored in the databases wherever it is possible. Then ultimately it creates knowledge. So, knowledge based culture is created. So, how does it created? How it was created? It was created through technology. So, that technology has added value to information to create knowledge. I think you got a very good idea about how the technology has added value. I want to tell you that one important thing, when you take some products, let us say mobile phones or car or whatever things, because now we are studying the digital business strategy. You think, you search, you can search in the mobile phones when you are buying it, what is the new innovation that they have found, what is the differentiating, how the product is differentiated, and how the information can be stored, how my data can be stored in the mobile phone, and also the data which is stored in the computers. What's the best technology they have used? If the hard disk failure, what will happen? What's the technology we can use? So how the information can be stored? So when you are going to buy a new product, please think about these things. What are the innovation? What are the new things that's included? Then ultimately you automatically learn this subject. So value chain. What is this value chain? Chains are valued. So normally chain is a sequence of activities actually. It's a set of activities that an organization operating to perform to deliver a valuable product for the market. There are a set of activities, right? There are a set of activities that an organization operating. Within the organization, these are the activities in square boxes. These are the activities to deliver a valuable product. So this is the start. There will be so many activities that deliver a valuable product ultimately. So in order to deliver this valuable product, there will be so many activities. It's like a chain. It's a value chain, adding values for each and every activities, and ultimately product will be developed. In a car manufacturing company, from start to the end, there will be a chain of activities, set of activities that is connected to each other. Let's say wheels manufacturing, there are set of activities. Then also steering wheel, engine and gearbox or the other parts of the car. So in order to manufacture those, there are set of activities in all. So that in the value chain, so values will be added for the set of activities. Ultimately that will develop a product. So that is called the value chain. So I think that the very this will be a summarized information that you are getting, but through the internet, that because you are studying this IT subject, you must be able to search, and when you see this word, why don't you use the mobile phone and search on that? Without searching on Facebook, you can use the search engine, and then that is Google or whatever, and then you can search what is value chain. You can get much more videos and you can understand that. So those are the hints that I am giving to you in order to improve your knowledge. What are the activities performed in value chain? So in a value chain, as I said to you earlier, there are so many activities, set of activities, deliver valuable product. In order to deliver valuable products, there are set of activities. So activities performed in value chain. So what are those activities? Inbound logistic. What is inbound logistic? So there is another one, outbound logistic. What is in, what is out? In means it is into the organization, out is out from the organization. So inbound logistic, there can be inventory control system in the organization. The raw materials, whatever the products to be developed, the inventory has to be maintained in the organization. And also for that there are system will be used. So inventory control system will be used, especially in the manufacturing environment. There are so the inventory control system is giving a much more value to the production process, because inventory control system, which when it comes to the level that the reorder level has to be placed to the reorder level, then you have to order new materials, otherwise the production process will be failing. So this inventory control system support for that. So and material requirement planning. So how the materials will be planning. So, in the production process in next month in April, you have to plan the material requirement. That material requirement will be based on the sales output. If the sales department is planning to sell 1000 product each and every month, sometime next month, the April month, it's a New Year season, they are going to sell about 2000 products to the market. Then materials requirement will be higher. So, you have to plan the materials requirement through the material requirement planning system. So, in some of the organizations these kind of systems are not available, but manually they do these things. And enterprise resource planning, ERP, in next there's a separate slide, the separate chapter for ERP in this syllabus. In that ERP one, that you will be learning much more about what ERP is. In briefly, I can tell you that ERP is a kind of a system that connected so many functions, let's say HR, sales and finance, manufacturing, marketing, branding and customer relations. So many functions will be interconnected to each other, that is called the ERP. And what is outbound logistic? Warehouse, that should be one word, right? Warehouse management, system control, warehouse operations. So, outside the organization that will have warehouse, so stores that will be storing raw materials. As an example, in a garment manufacturing company, sometimes the raw materials are stored in some other places because it will be a very huge quantity. So, in the factory environment, when the raw materials required, they will bring it from the warehouse. So, warehouse can be managed through some system, warehouse management control systems. So, it is called outbound logistic. And radio frequency identification, RFID, and RFID is a kind of normally some of the organizations use this RFID card for every employees. The employees can enter into the organization using RFID tag cards. So, those access control also provided in that way. So, RFID will be used to identify the certain product. If the RFID is given into certain products, that identification can be retrieved from the system and the stock and everything can be maintained. And ERP also, which I explained under the inbound logistic, also can be example for outbound logistics, because in the ERP system that will be connected to outside as well, not only within the organization. So, those are the system using as outbound. So, operations. For operation, automation and efficiency, computer aided manufacturing and integrated manufacturing, AI, artificial intelligence, ERP, those are the things which will be used in operations, automated and efficiency. So, in operations, as I said to you earlier, in the manufacturing operations, the most of the things will be automated, and the automation process will improve the efficiency. So, that the operation is the main activity in the value chain. So, in order to achieve in highest value in the operation activity, the automation systems can be used, and also ERP also another example. AI, artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence is? That is based on the facts that some certain decision will be taken. So, it is like a intelligent system, it is like your brain that define, normally you have a brain that is not artificial. So, the brain create as artificial will be in the robots. So, as an example I can tell that this will be explained in descriptive way in other slides as well. So, there are some other activities as well. Marketing and sales. In the value chain, so inbound logistics are there, outbound logistics, that operations are going on, then marketing and sales, so it's a very good activity. So in marketing and sales system will be used. Why the sales system are used? The product that they are going to sell will be in the system. They have online sales machines as tab. They will be using the tabs to sell in the market, and online marketing also will be used. And electronic processing system, EPOS. POS means in general terms you can identify in a food city or whatever supermarket. When you go there, there's a machine that when you buy products, they will scan the barcode, and system will capture the price and they ultimately create the bill. Those are called the POS machines. So EPOS machine, electronically also that can be there in the websites. So online marketing. In the online marketing, through the online mechanism, through Facebook or whatever the mechanism used in online, will be given a higher value to improve the sales in an organization, or else to market the product. In some other countries, I have seen that Facebook is a very good marketing tool to market in the environment. So once you put it to the Facebook, everybody will see it, because it is highly effective way. In Sri Lanka also in near future, that will be the best way. I have seen that so many people are working on Facebook. So those are the online marketing that can be used to improve the sales. And services. System or data to deal with customer. The customers are dealing with systems in the value chain. So not only the inside of the organization, in the organization, the outside parties also will be involved to get the service. So customers are involving to get the service. Procurement. So we talk about services. So in the service industry also is heavily used. And procurement. In procurement, system used for procurement activities, from purchase order until to receive the product. There are so many activities in the procurement process. Those activities will be performed through the procurement system. So then each and every things that they are going to purchase will be stored in those systems. Those information can be retrieved, and also they can get so many reports through the system, procurement systems, about the purchases that we have done from certain supplier, what are the comments given by the staff, and those can be maintained. In the eBay also you have seen that once we buy some things, there are ratings. That kind of ratings can be given inside the organization as well in the procurement systems. So those are the new technologies involved in the value chain. And human resource management is a good example. All of the organization now, about 70%, that can be more than 70%, organizations are using human resource management. Nowadays it is not easy to manage the human resource without a system. Let's say attendance machine captured the records. Early in the morning you punch in the attendance machine, you face the finger, and in the evening also when you go out, when you go home, that you punch the finger. Then that record will come to the HR system. The HR system will store the information, and then when you apply leaves, those things can be handled. Not only leaves, recruitment, and also probations, leaving, and also career development, and everything can be planned through the system. In early stages, those items are not included in the HR systems. Now it is come into the value chain. So in this value chain, value chain, it's a from one end to the other. In the organization, there are certain values in the chain. It's a chain of activities. In the chain of activities, in these items explained to you. So I think that you can understand about each and every item. But more than this one, there can be different activities involved in the value chain based on the organization. Because from organizations, one organization to other organization, where the activities are differentiating. So the activity involved in the value chain also can be differentiated from one compared to other. So these are the main activities we have given it to you. Okay. Research and development. The new innovations come through successful R&D. In short form, we call it as R&D. Then it create competitive advantage and also provide a value to the company. Most of the companies nowadays doing researches. Why they do researches is to develop new product. Research will be doing and then develop new product. Why they want to develop product is to get competitive advantage in the market. In previous slide also said that competitive advantage is a major important thing that the company has to look at in order to achieve their target in the market. So in order to differentiate the goods, the products, so research and development has to be there. Otherwise, the new innovation cannot be taken into action. In early days, that in the cars was developed and that was using petrol or diesel or the fuel. But nowadays, electric car came into action. It's a new research and development. And then hybrid car came. So those are new research and development. So when those products are launched into the system, the other product also fail sometimes. So those are the new research and development. So all the organization nowadays looking, those who are dealing with the products, the customers, they are looking for new innovation, new research and development. And that you have received the new syllabus now. So this new syllabus came through research and development. So many research have been carried out to develop this syllabus. This doesn't come automatically. It has consumed much more hours by professionals to develop a very good syllabus. So that all comes through research and development. Research and development is a very good topic and it's a vast topic. So you can get more ideas through the internet or through the syllabus that given. And let's talk more about R&D. So what are the R&D stages? There are type of researches. So there are 3 stages. In the question paper that can be asked. So what are the 3 stages of R&D? So pure research. That pure research, what are these pure research? That has no commercial aspect or practical end. So they don't expect money. They do researches. So especially government funded and does by universities. So most of the universities nowadays research component is giving a high value. If they have more researchers, so what will happen? Then more research will provide innovative things to the market. So student and also PhD student, so many student in the country, those who are doing masters and PhD, they also do so many researches. So in large scale government funding for these pure researchers. Let's say as a small example, I tell you that creation of smartphone. Now everybody is having a smartphone. To create this smartphone, What are the things we need? To make it, we would have needed some pure research in various things. What are the various things? Making a TV screen, wireless radio TV, developing a microphone, a keyboard, and developing a microphone. When you talk to another person through a smartphone, that's as a microphone. So microphone has to be built by somebody, and that's a new innovation. Through pure research that can be invented. Then there's a screen, how the screen was developed. So those are through pure researches. And let's say that what is applied research is? Has commercial aspect or practical, just a practical lane. So I have given a very good example. Nowadays there's a coronavirus is going on. What do you think about that? Through the special medical researchers, they can find the antivirus for coronavirus. So that will be as per applied research. That has a commercial aspect. We require to do it. But in the pure researchers, they think, they research why it has happened like that, and new innovations. Likewise, I have explained to you. And then the other one is development. Use the existing science and technology to produce new product. Already through the pure research, the initial step has been taken, and those initial step has been developed by applied research to develop some other products, and those, then the development come into action. That's the number 3, the stage 4. So already some through researchers, some innovative things has implemented. As an example, electrical cars without a need of charging. Let's say that in I think that 20 years ago, 10 years ago, that electric cars came into action in Sri Lanka, and it was a new thing. And in order to develop these electric cars, the technology that they have developed was already innovated some time back, but through the research and development, through the applied researchers, that products was further developed as a car. So electric was developed, and the use of electric and fuel, that also tested, and electric cars was developed. So in future, if you think that there can be electric cars without a need for charging. Now all the electric cars need to be charged, so that consume power. So power was developed through pure research. So we receive the electric power, so that can be through pure researches, and then the through the power electric cars will be charged. So you imagine that in future electric car will come that has solar power. Through the solar power, the electric car will be charged, its battery will be charged, then it goes. Likewise, when the wheels are rotating, automatically electric will be developed, and then it will charge the batteries. So that's a circulation method, electricity charging to the battery. So that innovation will come in near future. So that is through development. So it is developed through the existing technology. At present, so we have existing technology, that is solar power, that is electric car, the use of batteries for electric cars. So that is already developed. So through the solar power technology, so that can be increased, the productivity can be increased, new innovation can be done. So through that, electric cars without the need for charging can be developed in future. So I think that through that example you can understand what's the pure research, applied research, and development. Those are the 3 stages. And in the question paper, I feel like sometimes they will ask that pure research, the main feature of pure research, it has mentioned that has a commercial aspect, that doesn't concern about money, that has a practical end, that has no practical end. So, those things can be given as answers. So, for one questions there will be 4 answers. So, you have to select most suitable answer. So, in order to answer for that, you have to understand what is pure research, applied research, development. So, you have to compare these 3 stages, then you can answer. In a normal paper, it is very easy. If you ask to write about what the pure research is, what is the impact on that, you can write it. You can by heart this in and write. But in the MCQ question paper, it is not easy. You have to select the most suitable answer by comparing 2 or 3 elements. What are these elements? Pure research, applied research, development. Those are the 3 steps. With these 3 steps, you have to get a very good idea about the comparison. Okay. Knowledge management. Knowledge management is a good topic. What is knowledge? You have a certain knowledge within you, and organization has an employee. I think CSE Lanka has about, let's say, 200 staff. Each of these 200 staff has a knowledge. That knowledge will ultimately give a collective knowledge to the organization. So, organization wise has a very good knowledge. It is a collective knowledge of the people involved. So, why the knowledge management is required? It is to manage the knowledge. It is likewise the process of creating, sharing, using and managing the knowledge and information of an organization. It is a process of creating. Knowledge is created. The created knowledge is shared. It means, let's say that you will be working in Chartered Institute of Sri Lanka. You will be given a task to manage an event. So, you will be guided to manage the event. You are new to the organization. All the information will be provided to you for creating the knowledge. So, you are created the knowledge within you, and then now you are knowledgeable. So, you are going to share that knowledge with your team, and you are sharing the knowledge with the team, and then in that scenario you can involve some other knowledgeable people within the organization who have involved already with this event management. Then that issues came in when dealing in the event management can be expressed, can be shared in the meeting, though it is shared now. Then the shared knowledge will be using now. Now, when it comes to action, that will be used, and now it is using, and but not only that, it has to be managed. So, these 4 things, creating, sharing, using and managing, is the main things in the knowledge management. Knowledge is available, so it is to be managed. Without management of the knowledge, there is no use. It's a normal example is that, as I said earlier, let's say in CSE Lanka, there is examination division, let's say to my understanding, registration division, member relations, administration, and so many departments are there. In each department there are people involved who will be working. Each and every person has a knowledge. That is, knowledge is a collectively collected as a whole in the organization. So, in order to create the final product, it is the chartered accountant. the knowledge is sharing. Let us say in the initial registration of the of a student, the information will be captured, that is stored in the databases. That information will be flowing, and that will add some other information into the student profile. Once the student is completed examination or whatever the activity is, that also recorded in the system. That recorded information will be carried forward until they become the chartered accountant. So this is the process. So that is where the management is required. It's a multidisciplinary approach to achieving organizational objective by making the best use of knowledge. It's a multidisciplinary. In many disciplines that can be approached, that can be used in order to achieve the objective of the organization. And also it's a key factor in realizing and sustaining an organization's success. In order to success the organization objectives, knowledge management is a key factor. Capture, organize and store knowledge for use by an organization and its staff or managers. So the information and the knowledge available in the organization has to be captured and stored, and it has to be managed. Otherwise, once the employees resign, how do we gain that knowledge? That has to be captured, and then the organization will have a collective knowledge. That is why the knowledge management came into actions. The knowledge that they acquired, that developed by the organization has to be available for sharing in order to develop new products to the market and for the continuation of the organization. So in brief, that I think that you got a good idea about this. And knowledge management strategy. So we are talking about the strategy. So this is a knowledge management strategy. It's a plan of action that outlines how your organization will manage company information, data and knowledge to improve your productivity and efficiency. There are three main categories. It's a plan which manages to improve productivity. So knowledge management strategy is planning to manage and improve the productivity. So for that, top-down approach, bottom-up approach is used. In the top-down approach, consider the overall strategy of the organization, while the bottom-up approach focuses on key business processes. Use the overall strategic plan to identify the areas in which knowledge can be best exploited. Is from top to bottom. The strategy will be used. How the knowledge management strategy will be used from top to bottom. Bottom-up approach is based on research into existing key business processes in order to determine important needs and issues. In the bottom line, there can be so many issues. They are the people who are involved in the real business processes. So from the bottom to the up, the strategy will be flowing, and also from the top to the bottom, the strategic plan identify areas, the knowledge can be flowing to the bottom. So it's a vice versa flowing. So top to bottom, bottom to up. So in this knowledge management concept, I think that I have given you a knowledge about what the knowledge management strategy and what the knowledge management is. In the next slide, we are going to talk about more in the knowledge about the knowledge management, how it is being used, and for now onward, that I think that we will be stopping now. We will be meeting with the next session. with a continuation of this knowledge management strategy. Thank you.